Now today, we are going to talk about the dark history of the police. Under martial law, they can't show up to my doorstep. Just to make this clear, in no way, shape, or form am I promoting hate or prejudice against anybody. There are good people and there are bad people. This is dark, so I will not whitewash this. Let's go down the timeline, shall we? Before the formal police system, there were people called the Night's Watch, constables, sheriffs, and slave patrol. Before the fight between Republicans and Democrats, the fight between free states and slave states. So they all had their own individual laws. So now that we understand the separation of America, we can understand the separation of police. You know, the good cops and the bad cops. But today we're talking about the dark history, so we're going to talk about the bad cops. Originally, slave patrol originated in the early 1700s with one mission: establish a system of terror and squash slave uprising in the capacity to pursue, apprehend, and return runaway slaves to their owners. Because, you know, we weren't considered people. They had to make sure slaves weren't wandering out at night trying to run away, you know. So there was an issue because there wasn't unity. The northern and the southern states were beefing. The southern states wanted to assert their authority over federal government so they could abolish federal laws they didn't support, i.e. wanting to keep slavery. So Civil War happened and declared that all personal people who held slaves with the rebellious states are henceforward shall be free. So there was no need to run or fear for your life, right? So this became this. But it was still the same thing. I can't even show the pictures that I want to show, but even after that, a lot of African Americans were still terrorized. So now that slave patrols were not allowed, these people became the police to assert their dominance because of the prejudices that they had. An example of this is called lynching. Violent public acts that white people used to terrorize and control black people in the 19th and 20th century. Hanging them from trees, but they also involved extreme brutality such as torture, mutilation, decapitation, and desecration. Some of them were burnt alive. Now, a lot of people are wondering why there are bad cops. Because the same people who were slave catchers became police, and then their children's children had children, their children's children had children, and then we all are just dealing with this American problem. I wanted to squeeze in as much information as I could, but you know, it just gets too deep. Just wanted to put a spark in your brain, but I will make more videos on this. Y'all be safe with these bad cops.